And when it comes to that, nowadays there's a lot of different types of work. People, you're full time, your salary, or you're full time, you get paid by the hour. The banks are okay if you have a permanent part-time job on top of your full-time job, because nowadays a lot of people do have two jobs.
Yep.
The key for them is they want to know, is it permanent? A lot of people nowadays get bonuses with their employers. Some in some industries, people earn commissions where the banks use commission income. And also, over the last, let's call it 2-3 years, a lot of people are starting new businesses. So if you're self-employed, whether you're a sole proprietor, you've got your own little, you're the one man or one woman show, or it could be that same thing on your own and still be incorporated, or start a business where you have employees. The banks can do financing for you. The banks will also look at different other sources of income, like, for example, your child tax benefit that you receive from the government. The banks just want to know that your child is under the age of 13.
Okay. And what does permanent employment mean? How do they set that? Like, does that mean you pass probation, or what does that normally mean?
You're in the job, you pass probation, you've been there, the length of time could obviously vary, because you could always just have started the job, which is fine. But as long as you're permanent, you're not occasional. You're not in you're not in an industry that consistently have, like, I'll use Canada's Wonderland for example, right? If you work there, they do have full-time employees, but during the summertime they hire more seasonal people. It really varies, but as long as you have people who work part-time either in retail or even have nurses that work also part-time in a different hospital or a nursing home. It's really a wide net. The banks will consider it as long as it makes sense, and you've been doing it for a while. Right.
So if somebody has maybe like a full-time job, and they're also doing Uber or something like that for extra money, they can, they will consider things like this.
If you've been doing Uber for 2 years, yes. If you just started Uber last month, it's kind of like there's no consistency.
Makes sense. It's kind of like us, actually, as mortgage brokers and realtors, right? So
they're looking for consistency, right? So especially part-time, because it is a part-time, like you use Uber, for example. You could start it last month. Well, it doesn't mean you're going to do it for the next 2 years. If you've been doing it for 2 years already, there's no reason why you would stop.
Yeah, because you could be doing 1 day a month or 2 days a month or every day. Yeah.
Exactly. And the banks are okay with part-time, as long as it's permanent.
Nice. Makes sense. Okay.